now what? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
Hold it. What you talking about, doctor?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of I'm Conscious Now What? Feels so good to be in this space with you today, which is a new life for me, a new frequency that I'm feeling today. And I just want to say, before I get started, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please allow the words that come from me to be perfect in frequency, in pitch, in harmony, in every interaction, and allow those words to be discerned for all living frequencies, for all living beings. That you can discern and understand the words that I'm going to say today. And once again, I just thank you. I thank you for being here. I'm conscious now what? I've been noticing that a lot of you are watching the replays of I'm Conscious Now What? And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. It's such an honor to have you here in frequency connecting with me in energy. And we do this live every Wednesday and Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Thank you again. I'm just feeling energy connecting right now. Thank you. And I just wanted to take the time to once again explain why we do what we do collectively and the intent of this platform. And I say this because I think it's misconstrued, and I think it's compared to a lot of what's already out there and what's going on. And that's cool, because I'm starting to understand and experience infinite possibilities. But I'm Conscious Now What is a platform where you can feel and experience a lot of different perceptions from energy. It's our platform. It's a platform that we all collectively utilize to raise the level of consciousness one soul at a time. And so doing this, we are organically exposed to all different kinds of frequencies and energies and perspectives and all of these different opinions and different logics and different beliefs and what we call different problems. And it's infinite possibilities. And what I really want everyone, including myself, is to get used to experiencing this journey. Some call it a journey, some call it a life, some call it a visitation, some call it an experience. I just want to give you a taste, just a taste of the infinite possibilities in consciousness. And today's topic, I had to take a lot of notes this morning just to give you this message from my ego. We're going to talk about ego today because I've been experiencing a lot of this in myself. As I go higher and higher and deeper in my journey, I've been able to identify exactly what the enslavement or the prison of the ego is in myself. So it's easier for me, to deliver this message. And you hear me say this a lot. Everything down here, if you want to recognize this as a space or where we are, where we're vibrating now in the physical, where we use language, where we speak spells, it's folly. It's all folly. It's all folly. And I'm going to get into why I say that. It's just all folly. It's all never ending drama, a never ending movie, the best fucking movie ever written, experienced, or created. And we're all actors and actresses in this infinite movie we call consciousness. And so I kind of wanted to, not even kind of, I'm bringing this platform in a way where I allow you to play your role, to chime in, to pick up your phone and call in, not from a guru perspective, because gurus, when you really reach this non-duality, which we're going to talk about today, you throw guru right out the window. There's no gurus here. There's just great, elaborated, articulated perspective, which we gravitate to because it's delivered and piggybacked in such a calming, soothing way. But there's no gurus. There's really no masters here, because if there were this quote unquote word masters, and I still say this, I still say this, and I still stick by this. You wouldn't still be here in 3-density. When you've experienced what I've experienced and what so many other people out there are experiencing now, being able to break away from the prison and the enslavement of ego. Wow, it's just an incredible journey. So this will not be a long live stream, because I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible from my perspective. And right now I'm just feeling and observing the energies and the frequencies. I'm very conscious of where I'm vibrating right now. And the reason why I'm speaking a lot slower and observing all of my thoughts is because I'm battling my ego now to give you the message that I experienced, this morning. And I have to run it through my ego to even give it to you the way that I want to give it to you. So, how to liberate, free yourself from the prisons of the ego? Well, in order to do that, we would have to just touch a little bit on What is liberation from ego? What is that? And the reason why I bring that question up, because a lot of us on this journey, we haven't even experienced liberation from our ego, not even a glimpse. We don't have any idea. We are not conscious of being liberated or freed from the prison of our ego. And that's what this journey we call, a lot of us call it a journey that we're on, the ultimate goal. And I'm gonna make it as simple as I can on my journey, because I've reached non-duality twice now. Twice. Early this morning and one other particular time from outer body experiences. And I'm just so zoomed in on ego right now. And I just want everybody to take a deep, deep breath and just relax. And don't look for fault. Don't look for right. Don't look for wrong. Don't look for it to be delivered a certain way. Don't even have an expectation for this live stream. Just be open to receive energy. That's what I'm learning on this, and it's so fast at the speed of thought. I'm learning to just receive energy. And the easiest definition that I could come up with, just compiling all of my experiences and my thoughts and all of my frequencies together and experiencing that from the duality of my ego and the non-duality of oneness with infinite consciousness, infinite possibilities, that infinite oneness that's happening simultaneously, all at the same time, which I don't even have the English to explain. It's just something that you have to experience. And I was there again this morning. It just lets you know when you come back to ego, not that ego is good or bad. I just say it's just bullshit, like kind of in a way. It's like it's like when you watch a movie, when you go watch a movie at the movie theater and you attach emotion to that movie, and sometimes you might even cry, and sometimes you might even laugh, and sometimes you take on the pain from the actors and the actresses, and you right in that movie consciously and emotionally. But at the end of that movie, you get up and you go back on about your regular day. You change your awareness to something else. And because from your perspective, this is just a movie. This is not stamped, quote unquote, real. You know what I mean? And when you experience this non-duality, certain titles, certain perspectives, certain logic, certain religions, certain entities, certain characters, we just realize it's just all bullshit. It's just all bullshit what we're going through. So I'm gonna do my best in my ego right now to give you what I've experienced twice on this journey, real fast, of just being oneness, just oneness with everything in non-duality. Freedom from the ego is freedom from the confines of the illusion, the illusionary nature of the ego. It's an illusion. To be free from that illusion of the ego and clear awareness of the true nature of yourself. That's freedom from the ego. To be free from the illusion or the illusionary aspects of what you call yourself here in duality, right? Because I'm looking at myself from dual, my consciousness and physicalness. It's like a separation. So that's why I call it an illusion when I get back here and I look around. It's like an illusion because it puts in my mindset and in my conscious that everything is separate, that you're watching this live stream from across the world or in a different city, and you're a male and you're a female and you're black and you're white, right? Energy has taken on all of these different shapes and forms and frequencies and vibrations, and its duality. Everything has been separated. And that's the illusion of the ego. And we've attached emotions to these separations and titles. That's the illusion. So to be free from the ego, once again, these are just from my notes, is freedom from the confines, to be able to go outside of that. Titles, race, gender, the illusion of everything being separate, right? To go out of that, to be able to just experience it, to break the chains and tap back into that non-duality of oneness, infinite possibilities, to not see things separate. And it's when you're dealing with ego, it sounds like a foreign language when we talk about this, because we've been domesticated. I see it so clearly now. I even see it in this incarnation of how I've done my animals, which I love dearly, my beasts. I've domesticated my beasts. I've raised them. I've done my best to try to raise them as humans. I've domesticated them. I've just made them numb to so many possibilities that they can experience from just being the law of nature of what they are from their perspective. I've numbed them down to see things just from a human perspective. And that's just the beast that I have guardianship over. And that's what's happened to us in this incarnation. We've been numbed down. And on my journey from experiencing this non-duality, some people call it enlightenment, or to experience enlightenment, or to be enlightened. And me personally, I don't know anybody on this journey that is just enlightenment, because I know what it is now. I know a lot of people that have experienced enlightenment, but I don't know no one that is enlightenment, to just stick to that oneness, that's just become oneness, infinite with everything. That's just no one. I see ego in everyone because I've identified exactly what it is. Now, how can you experience, for those of you who have not experienced the freedom of ego, to actually come out of ego, to come out of duality? There's a lot of different ways, and the way that you have to do it so you can understand what you're doing is it's if you can get your ego to relax, to just relax, right? And surrender into a full, infinite, non-dual state of awareness where everything is perceived as the infinite nature of self. And it's just hard trying to find the words for what I feel and what I've experienced twice. Where there's no, okay, I'll give it to you like this. Where there's no objects. You see what I'm saying? It's a bunch of objects. This microphone is an object. In order for me to talk on this microphone, I have to notice it as an object and speak into the microphone. And subjects, right? We experience this all the time. Third person. You'll hear a lot of people say I had a lucid dream or out of body experience and I was in first person, right? Or third person. That's this particular consciousness observing objects and subjects. That's duality. You see what I'm saying? That's duality. And that's how you know when you're in ego. And I'm not saying, see, I'm learning so fast. Being in ego is not a good or a bad thing. But being in ego is being in ego. And you'll realize that it's a very limited perspective. Most of it is just folly and bullshit. But because this is an infinite, eternal movie, or some people call it a dream, you understand what I'm saying? You have all different actors and actresses and all different manipulations of energy, all different frequencies, infinite timelines, infinite possibilities. But like I said before, we've been numbed down and dumbed down just from the perspective of ego. So once again, to be set free from the prison. Now notice I'm saying prison and the chains and not just ego. I don't want you to get this the wrong way. I'm not telling you in this incarnation that I can teach you how to separate yourself permanently from your ego, because I haven't found out how to do that. And I don't know anyone on my journey that has yet. But I'm experiencing a lot of people who are getting a 2 or 3 hour day pass from prison, getting visits, being able to get out of the prison and experience this non-duality, which we don't have the words for. We just have to try to paint a picture. Okay. Now, how can you get this pass from your ego? How can you break away from the prison? How can you get out of it? There's a lot of different ways you can do it, and I just want to touch on them to help paint this picture that I'm trying to paint. The way that I always start off is through meditation. Okay, that's why meditation is like, meditation has just changed my life so drastically. Just the act of meditating, the act of just changing my frequency or my mind or my thoughts from beta hertz, that ecstatic, erratic way of thinking, which we've been trapped in. See, that's the ego. When you're in that ego, 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, you're in beta, that beta mode. You know what I'm saying? You're just jumpy, man. Can't stop thinking. You can't stop planning. You can't stop judging. You can't stop your opinion. You can't stop anything. It's just, you know what I mean? And that's not the origin of our true nature. No, that's what we become through all of the artificial intelligence that you see around now. That's what we just become. That's not our true nature. Our true nature is non-duality, and I'm just holding on to that. non-duality, oneness with everything, infinite possibilities, seeing this world through the eyes of the infinite one, the producer, the infinite immortal producer of this immortal movie that we're all in, or this dreamscape that a lot of you like to say, the consciousness of God, the consciousness of the 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 divine presence of all, experiencing itself over and over and over and over and over again. Non-duality, oneness. I started this journey through meditation. You can also, and meditation again is very important, because what you do in meditation is you're going from that beta, that mind, and you're calming that mind down, and you're going into the alpha and theta states of brain activity. It calms you down, it centers you. You shake away the chains in the grips of this reality that we're in. So meditation is the gateway to it all. Okay. Just going over my notes. And as I said before, I use astral projection. It's the greatest tool that I've ever encountered so far. So far now, astral projection. Purposely projecting my consciousness from the physical to the non-physical realms. And the reason why a lot of you cannot experience just the meditation part, to going from that, that beta to that alpha to that theta, that's even hard for some of you. And I understand, trust me, and I'm not judging anyone, but I know where you are. That's hard for you because it's hard for you just to sit and be still and not think. It's hard for you to center. It's hard for you to find time in the illusion of time to just be still and not do anything. I know, I've been there. I've been there. And you're not able to astral project, and we'll go back up, because you can't get that ego to relax and surrender into a full, infinite, non-dual state of awareness where everything is perceived as an infinite nature of self, where there's no objects or subjects and no separation. Your ego fights that. Your ego fights for that identity of no, this is who you are. It fights you. So we got meditation, we got astral projection, we also got astral travel. And the difference from the astral projection and the astral travel is you don't necessarily, how can I explain this? It's more in mentalism, it's more visualization, and you mentally travel, not perceiving and going through the vibrations of actually physically leaving the body. It's more mental. It's more like a meditation state where you use your mind and visualize with focused thought, and focus your awareness. And you actually go there in mentalism. It's like you're tapping into your imagination. Okay. And I usually do a lot of astral travel from 12 noon and like 3 p.m. And my astral projections are in the early mornings from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. because my body is more tired and relaxed and asleep in those areas. Whereas in the evening, throughout the day, your body is active from your daily routines. So you have to know these things to put yourself in the best state of experiencing these non-physical realms, or getting your mind, switching your mind to these different frequencies. Okay. Now, another one that's been out for a long time, and I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it, is DMT. DMT will take you like this from dual to non-dual. Okay. And there's some pros and cons about it. And there's even, I won't say it's a new kid on the block, but it's becoming very, 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 very popular. I've gotten actually like 3 videos. Someone sent it to me about a DMT called 5-MeO DMT, which is 0 to 100 real quick. Now, I've never taken DMT. I've never done mushrooms. And not that I wouldn't, or not that I wouldn't want to experience it. Just up until this point, I've never experienced that. It's not in my grasp now, based on where I'm located. But I'm sure on my journey, at some point, I will have the opportunity. And I know the being that I am to experience DMT. But what, from my perspective, and from the people that I talk to, and from the handful of people that I've had a chance to, I won't even say mentor, but exchange energy with via over the phone and in person, on a whole, if you're not ready, and if you're not ready to what we call die in 3D, to not exist, and it's hard explaining this to you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm popping into ego and then I'm pulling from non-duality of what it's so hard to touch on this and to use English. But if you're not ready to die, to not exist in ego, to experience this non-duality, don't do DMT, and don't do mushrooms, and don't do this ayahuasca and all of these things. It could be very, very traumatic. I'm just telling you. And that's why you see so many people out of balance, and you see so many horror stories on the internet about these experiences, because it's ego. They never let go of the ego when they experience ayahuasca and DMT. And even cannabis is a great tool. Now, I've experienced cannabis, and you can reach these altered states of consciousness. They're gateways. But if you're not ready to die, and I have to say that because that's what it's like. That's what it's like when you're going from duality to non-duality during these meditations and during these experiences, these transitions. You literally die from who you once thought you were. And I say this all the time. It's the most blissful, enlightening, truthful experience that you could ever even phantom or imagine. It's all of that. It's all of that and then some. Anything you can think of is there. But at the same time, it's the most terrifying experience to be just ripped away from who you perceived yourself to be in this illusion of ego. And we're all going to experience it. We're all going to experience it. We all are. But I'm just learning to just don't take life so seriously like we were taught. It's not that serious. It's not. It's not. It's not that damn serious. It's not. Oh. So the goal, should I even use that word goal? The goal. Just let it flow, Derek. Let it flow. The goal, or whether you are conscious of it or not, and you will be, this experience is to return to non-duality. To return to that non-duality, infinite state of consciousness. Mm. That's the journey. Mm. And just sitting in that, what usually happens is there's usually a paradigm shift or a shattering where current belief systems, when this happens, see, you'll know when this happens. It won't be look, no one will be able to take it away from you when you go to duality to non-duality. You can't fake this shit. There's a shattering where your current belief systems, they just don't add up. They just don't make fucking sense anymore. They just don't make sense. Some of the stuff that we've held on to and some of the things that we say and preach and teach and analyze and tell somebody this is what you should be doing or this is how you're supposed to look, it just doesn't fucking make sense anymore. It just don't make sense. And you'll witness this in beings who are experiencing this. We just don't hold on to shit that we used to anymore. It's tight. We just kind of open up. We open up to receive any and everything, infinite possibilities. We just start opening up. This is to escape the imprisonment of ego. You just start to open up. And it just happens because you're moving that ego out the way. So you're opening up to receive infinity. Gonna dive deep into this. But this will cause us to examine and look at our lives in a deeper and inward observation. You start looking at yourself a lot deeper and a lot different. Like, damn, how did I was stuck here for like, you'll see the life loops. You'll see it. You'll see where you were. You'll see where you resided in consciousness. You'll see where you are in infinity. You'll see it when you come in and out of non-duality, when you have these experiences, because that's the ultimate goal, is to just get stuck, I might say, in non-duality, just to stay there as the infinite one, to become everything simultaneously. And I mean, I just can't even imagine just staying there. Like, it just feels like I would just blow up. I can't even hold that frequency. But, just from my perspective, that's like where I will reside one day, or at least make it back to tag. Maybe I'll tag someone and start over. I don't know. I don't claim to know. I'm just telling you what I'm experiencing. So what I think I'm trying to say is, We're not liberated from the ego permanently when we have these experiences of non-duality. And some will teach that. And you'll know it, ladies and gentlemen, you'll always, let me give you just this little tip if you'll receive it. I can spot ego like this just from when I'm viewing things as dual. When you're over there and I'm over here, God damn it, I'm an ego. When you're a female and I'm a male, I'm an ego. Anything separated, I'm an ego. It is what it is. That's what I'm saying. It's not a good or bad thing. But what I'm experiencing now, and what a lot of you are experiencing, and this is what you're fighting. You're fighting. A lot of you that I talk to, a lot of you are fighting your liberation, your chance to break free from ego and to experience non-duality, everything, to experience the infinite one, the infiniteness of being, of consciousness. You're fighting it because you're holding on to your beliefs. And you're here, I'm willing to die for what I believe. So you're willing to hit the fucking reset button for one infinite belief. And you have to see this from infinity, from one thought or one perspective. When you got infinity out there, it's like you trapped. You're a ball of energy, just stagnant. And I'm going to define my perception of ego in a minute, but that's what you're fighting against. When all of these different variations of energy come your way and they bouncing off of you and you can't stop it. Haven't you realized that? You cannot stop the flow of energy. Everything is energy. You can't stop it. So you have to. And I hate saying have to, but this is what I'm starting to realize and experience. Everything is energy. How the fuck you gonna stop the flow of energy? I mean, think about it. When everything is energy, how are you just gonna grab hold to one frequency and say this is everything? This is what I'm riding. Did you fuck everything else and label everything else as right and wrong and good and bad? Think about it. But in order to even see it that way, you have to experience non-duality. You have to see everything from the divine presence of all perspective. And even when you see it and get there, just in my journey, you're still fighting ego because the ego is saying, oh, is that you? Why are you there? You are God, Derek. Damn, look what you're experiencing. Oh my God. Oh, you're God. You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not God. It's just I'm experiencing this infinite consciousness. I'm the infinite one experiencing itself over and over and over and over again to infinity. My ego wants to push me to elevate myself, to say, this is you and you're, fuck that, man. We're all infinite expressions of the divine presence of everything, all happening simultaneously. We're all one. We just shattered. I might say like a mirror. We just been shattered through ego. We're in prison. A lot of people call Earth the prison planet. You heard that before. I can see that now. So I think in order to understand what I'm trying to say, you have to really understand what ego is. And this is going to be funny. This is going to be real funny. What is ego to you? I'm gonna ask, if I had a bunch of people here, I would ask, what do you think ego is? What is ego from your perspective? And you'll hear a lot of different variations of what ego is. Just this morning, my whole perspective of ego changed. when I experienced non-duality this morning. And I just got a little glimpse. I'm not trying to make this something that is not, just a little small glimpse. And my ego, I just could not on this experience get my ego to just submit and just let it envelop me. My ego was still fighting it. So I just got a little glimpse again. But it was enough for me to come back here and know, like, holy shit, wow, there it was again. You know, I'll never forget that. And it helped me to discern what my ego was. I saw what my ego was. Let me tell you my definition of ego. And when I open up the phones, I would love to hear what your definition of what ego is. Ego is not, from my perspective, a single thing. I know on this journey, a lot of you think I'm fighting my ego, and you look at ego as being this singular object because we're in 3 density. I know I did. I'm just being honest. My ego, just this singular object or this singular being that was in me and grounded me to the earth and grounded me in my root chakra. Check this shit out. I could see this so clearly. So clearly. And that's why I tell you guys, when you have these astral projections and out-of-body experiences and astral travel, write that shit down as soon as you come back. It will blow you away when you read it and share it with like-minded people who can receive that frequency. Ego is a collection. This is what I saw. My ego was a collection of energy patterns that I had developed, that I have experienced, that I have labeled, that I have owned as my own. It was just a bunch of energy patterns that I was experiencing, patterns that I just kept going through. And if I had to paint a picture, it was just, oh man, of infinity. It wasn't even a grain of fucking sand of infinity. But I was like trapped in this energy of patterns. And I couldn't get out of them patterns. And I had fucking infinity around me. Shit was amazing, ladies and gentlemen. But I was just stuck. Not even a grain of sand. It wasn't even that big. It was energy patterns that I've clinged to and made my own. And I defined as me. Remember, everything is energy. Ladies and gentlemen, your body is energy. Your thoughts are energy. Your emotions are energy. Your experiences are energy. Your movements are the manipulation of energy. And so when I saw my ego, I saw a bunch of energy patterns that I had gathered and constructed and molded. Me now. I did this and molded into this hunk of energy that I call me. Turning my back on everything else. All of this is infinity around this ball of energy. But this is me. And it's just energy patterns, thoughts, emotions, experiences. Half of the shit was given to me. And that was my ego. I knew that was my ego. I saw this shit, ladies and gentlemen. Clear as day. Clearer than what I'm seeing with my fucking eyes now. So the ego is not a physical thing. It's not a physical thing. It's not a person. It's energy patterns. Shit you experience from a child all the way up until now. It's who you think you are. It's how you perceive the world. It ain't how the fucking world is. The world is infinite. And that's why you see so many variations. People see the world different. because we all construct these energy patterns based on our thoughts, frequencies, vibrations, our movements, perception, perspective. That's ego. It's not a physical person. We've been enslaved, ladies and gentlemen. Oh shit, when you look at it like that, man, you know, we've been enslaved from birth. Because when we went into that, when we went into our mother's portal, her womb, we were energy. We were infinite possibilities. And as soon as we hit that womb, as soon as I said it on a previous show, all of this shit is tying in. As soon as we hit this plane, we started to gravitate towards different frequencies. We were taught. We was taught what's right, what's wrong. Think about it. What's good, what's bad, what's normal, how we should fucking look, how we should feel. All we were taught all of this shit. And that's why your ego, a lot of you guys and girls, when you're right on the brink of having an astral projection, or you're right on the brink of breaking through from DMT, because it's all the same. It's just DMT is a spirit molecule that makes everything faster. Astral projection is a process, right? It's a process to get there. You have to, get in tune with your own frequencies. You have to change your diet. You have to learn how to meditate. You see, I understand it all. DMT is just like, it's the spirit molecule. And I'm just telling you, if you're not ready, and only you know that, if you're not ready, and I'm not even saying this from a place of fear, I'm saying this from a space of, so you can continue your journey, so you won't hit not even a speed bump, so you don't fucking jump off the cliff and you're not ready. Some of you think you're ready, but you got this universal compass on the inside of you. And if you freak out when you start leaving your body, or see, like I just said it the other day, or you freak out in front of a fucking reptilian, then you might not be ready. It is what it is. Second time experiencing non-duality yesterday. I want to open up the phones. I want to ask 734-230-2744. Is there anyone else out there that have experienced non-duality? Have you got a pass from your ego? Let me know right now. And this is just something that I've experienced this morning from the astral realm. I'm gonna run over here to the chat right now. I love all you guys. And what an incredible experience. I'm still sitting here, and you guys can tell I'm off a little bit today, because I'm in ego, then I'm in that. It's weird, ladies and gentlemen. I feel so much lighter. I feel liberated a little bit because I know I'm on the right path. And I know that just allowing all different types of energy to come into my consciousness and just to experience and not isolate or label anything is the right path to non-duality. And the reason why I say that is, think about it like this: getting the pass from this ego. The only way you can have an out-of-body experience is, you will hear us saying this a lot, you got to just let go. You have to just let it envelop you. You have to stop fighting it. Just release and relax and let go. It's the same thing from letting go of ego. You just have to not exist. Fuck existing. Trust me, you haven't experienced existing until you experience non-duality, oneness. We don't have the language. Can't nobody explain it to you. We can only throw pain at you and let you feel the drippings. You can't, there's no English to explain seeing and experiencing consciousness from the divine perspective of all, everything, simultaneously. Anything, any possibility is all right there. I can't even explain it to you. Any and everything is right there. And all you're doing is switching consciousness, and you just everything all at once. The beginning, the first, the last, everything all at once. Everything that ever would, everything that there could ever be, everything that you could even try to think of or imagine or experience it. You are everything simultaneously, and you are conscious that you are everything, but not you from an egotistic perspective, like I am this. You know that you are experiencing what a lot of us call God. Like, God damn, oh God, this is it. You know it. Nobody can take that away from you. And what happens? You experience it and you shift right back into the physical body, right back into the ego, and you know it just like that. Damn, I'm back in ego. How do you know it? Duality. Everything is separate again. And what's really helping me understand this, what's really helping me is I'm just playing the role of a character. I'm Derek Dunlap. You know, hey, I'm just playing a character. I'm just experiencing this journey from this frequency, and I just let it flow. I'm now not trying to, in a non-egotistic way, control everything. I'm just letting life play out. I'm just letting stuff flow. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just letting stuff flow. And stop trying to like find the answer to everything and just experience everything. And go from the experience and go from the frequency and go from how I feel on the inside, and stop trying to know everything and judge everything, and just shit is all folly. The phone lines are open 734-230-2744. We're not gonna go long today. We're not gonna go long today. Who's over at the chat? Kim, I'm loving you. We got Amber. Skymer is here. Thank you for being here. Georgia is here. Marcus Jackson is here. Hey, Marcus. Thank you for joining us today. Who's over in the chat? I'm right here at the chat right now. Let me know who is here. Davey is here. What's up, Davey? What's up, Dizzy? What's up, Donnie? I hope I'm saying that right. Mrs. Groves. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Georgia? Thank you for the hearts, Dizzy. Jake is here. What's up, Jake? Thanks, man. I really want to hear from some of you guys, right? 734-230-2744 is your time right now. That was my experience this morning of non-duality. I know there's some amazing stories out there. Amazing. So yeah, the phone lines are open. I'm looking at the chat right now. So if you want to say something directly to me, what's up, Green Lie? You can say it now. I appreciate all of the hearts today. And those of you who are going to be watching this stream, after this live stream, we welcome you. You can join us here every Wednesday and Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're just trying to construct this reality and just trying to raise the level of consciousness one person at a time. That's all we're trying to do. Anna says, thank you. I have a new understanding of ego. Anna, thank you. Thank you. That's all I was trying to do too, Anna. I love you too. It's just a perspective, you see? That's just something that I experienced, and there's a lot of people that experience it. But my ego was a bunch of energy patterns that I created and constructed, and it was keeping me from experiencing infinity. I could only experience what I had constructed and what I've attached emotion to. It was like a prison. Ego. It's not one person. Well, for me, but you'll hear a lot of different perspectives of ego. But I'm telling you, I saw that from a space of non-physical realm. I was out of body when I experienced that. And I'm habitual with writing things down now. As soon as I wake up. And then once I write them down, a lot of times it don't even make sense to me. So I have to study it and go back. I use those words as triggers to go back and kind of pull. Some people like to call it the ecastic records, or pull from my higher self the information that I experience, or you'll lose everything. So I strategically, my intent when I'm astral projecting is, and I've been seeking this for a long time, I want to go back to that non-duality form. And it's a battle against ego to get there. It's a battle against your ego to get there. Yeah, and it's not a right or wrong or good or bad thing. It is what it is. All right. A million years, term humans. Okay. Derek, the duality of men being eradicated by nature. Tell me about it, Kim. Tell me about it. I'm still in the chat. I'm still waiting. I just go by the flow of energy. The platform is open. The phone lines are open. 734-230-2744. It makes the most sense. It resonates with me. Thank you. Dizzy, what do you mean? Feminists are finally getting what they want. What do you mean by that, Dizzy? What do you mean? I need food right now. They talk about the cataclysm that's coming. See, and that'll be from perspective, you know, because I see and read and watch and view a lot of shit that's coming. And just from this morning, just from my experience of non-duality this morning, I realized of the infinite possibilities that's around me. So it's kind of hard because I'm battling my ego right now from what I've experienced this morning. Cause I'm live. I'm like fresh out of it. Like 10 a.m. this morning, I was in this non-duality state. And just to slam back into ego and try to comprehend everything that you've experienced. And on top of that, try to do a live stream so fresh with the information and make any kind of sense and stay balanced. So I don't fucking seem like I've lost my fucking mind. Excuse the F words. I'm sorry. But I'm just trying to push this energy. It's very, I won't say hard, but it's hard to comprehend and conceive everything that just happened because it happened so fast. So now what mainstream is saying, right, and what they're gearing us towards, you see, because remember what my ego was. My ego was a lot of energy patterns that I've lacked, you know, compiled a lot of energy, emotion, thoughts, experiences too. So that's my ego. So what we've been programmed, even from the conscious community, that's why you ladies and gentlemen hear me saying it's all folly anyway, right? And the power of thought is so powerful because if enough of us can believe that aliens are coming to take over what we call the earth, if enough of us can start believing that and visualizing that, then it's going to happen. It's going to happen. If enough of us can believe that, because this alien thing is big, and my perspective on aliens, now, because you guys know I love I love that kind of shit, the moon and aliens and extraterrestrials and different galaxies, and that's where my foundation is. A lot of this shit was created through consciousness, man. A lot of this shit was created. A lot of this shit is breakaway civilizations controlling us, making it something that it isn't, keeping us trapped. I'm telling you. It's just making more and more sense. A lot of these end times, we got books that a lot of people say, well, this has to be true. Everything that the book is saying is coming to reality. It was, how could they know that? Listen. Fuck all the folly right now. Listen, I'm here to tell you that consciousness is infinite. And when you go into non-physical states of consciousness, you tap into everything. And I'm telling you, if I'm doing it, you know how long they've been doing this shit, structuring this consciousness, structuring these galaxies and these different, you know how long they've been doing this shit? I'm doing it. And I have to look at it this, I'm quote unquote a black male with a GED that lives in Detroit, Michigan, which was once a bankrupt city, one of the poorest cities, the first city in the United States to file bankrupt. Okay. And I have consciousness and I have experienced non-duality and I can astral project and I can create in the non-physical realms. If I can do this, how long has this been going on? So what I'm gearing to now I'm starting to understand a little bit now more. See why a lot of people don't even turn on the fucking TV set, because they don't want to be exposed to different thought patterns and belief. See, this is new. I just saw what my ego was. Thought patterns. That's why a lot of people don't like to engage in a lot of different frequencies. And that can be a handicap, or it could be it can release you. It can unlock you from your ego, just experiencing things. So I'm just going with the flow, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm just experiencing things as they come my way. I'm trying to get out of, stop trying to analyze and say it's this way or that way. I'm just letting the energy flow. Just letting it flow. Just letting it flow right now. Cause I realize don't nobody know shit. Really. It's all ego. It's just the energy patterns that you've been creating out of energy. And some of you are very articulate, and some of you speak very, very well, and some of you are very educated. Everything flows so perfect, and it's hypnotizing. And we just gravitate because it sounds good. Don't mean that it's true. Don't mean that it's happening. Don't mean that it's the only way. It just sounds good. It just feels good. So we just attach to it. And it's not until we are liberated from that ego. It's not until we are snatched right up out of that motherfucking energy that we created, our little world that we created, with the illusion of being separated from everything else. When that shit is just moved out the way and that flood of oneness, infinity comes in, that horror of what we call God, which we lied with our tongues and spoke all these spells about what we say is God and what people swear is God. And that's why I say no eyes have seen and no ears have heard. And see, that's real shit. I understand that. Whoever put that in them 66 books, I understand. Ain't no physical eye saw non-duality. Physical eyes can't even understand non-duality. Ain't no eyes never saw God. Ain't no flesh ever been there. Nothing dual will ever experience the divine presence of all, because the divine presence of all is what it is. I am what I am. Non-duality, everything, all at once, infinite consciousness, oneness. Shit is so powerful, man. Let me check these lines. Let me go to the phone lines. They're open.
Sir.
Gary, what's going on, my man?
How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. I'm just sitting in this energy, man. I'm just on a whole nother frequency today, man. I'm just letting it flow today, brother. Thank you for blessing me and us with your energy. You got the platform, man.
Absolutely. 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 You know, when we talk about ego, it is, as you said, something that we create. You know, it's not just one thing. And one of the exercises that I did years ago was I took 30 days, and in that 30 days, I could not judge anyone. And it allowed me to not be able to judge myself. And when we have this ego, the things that we create in life, they are just something that we create. So they pop in and out every time that we need them. Even some people use them even to protect themselves. Anytime that they're in a conflict or in a situation, they use that mechanism. So egos come out each and every time, and we create each and every one of them. And once you begin to realize and understand and acknowledge the ego, as you have experienced in your own journey, we can begin to acknowledge it and be able to experience certain things and be able to understand what is ego and what it not. And it's just something to create. So I definitely appreciate this topic that you have given us today, because it is something that needs to be discussed. And it's more than just one thing. But once you begin to acknowledge the ego, you can begin to measure and be able to see when you go in and out. So I definitely appreciate you for giving us this topic today. And that's what I have to say today. Appreciate you, my brother.
Stay with me for a minute, Gary. You still here, right?
Yeah, of course.
Stay with me for a minute. Thank you for calling in, and we love your energy. I'm gonna put a little fire under you, brother. A little fire on you. I just felt led to don't let Gary go yet. Let him hang around in this energy for a minute. So we got some you got some things coming up for this I'm Conscious Now What movement. You are a part of it. I feel it. You've been on this journey with me for a long time, and you got something coming up for us, right? Very soon.
Absolutely, yes.
Can you?
Absolutely. Stay tuned. We definitely have something coming your way, and I'm a supporter of you and the Unconscious Network, for sure.
Okay. For inquiring minds, can you give us a little sneak peek so we can build up to this? Just a little sneak peek of what's coming.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, for a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that are on this platform, things could seem out of your reach, or how can I say it, things that you may not experience. And so we do have coming out, which we will share on this platform, ways that you'd be able to measure, even such a topic that we talked about today, the ego. And so we have created products, personal development products, that will begin to open the door as to what you are talking about, and be able to give people a understanding of who they are based on the experience, because everything is in a cycle. And for people just to be able to understand and to be able to begin to relate to you, or begin to go and experience going to, as you expressed, the meditation state and different things like that, or be able to understand fear, different things that we go through. We have products that you'll be able to use and interact with And we will definitely share that on upcoming future platform on this platform presentations that we have. So we do have some things that'll help the average person be able to get to the next level, or help the average person get over, or be able to understand some experiences. Because at the end of the day, we do fight with ourselves and that we don't know, and the things that we do are based on things that we just don't want to do or fear. And so we have products and different things that we have that will help to help the average person be able to get over or be able to understand.
Okay. And tell us why we got you here, Gary. Just tell us a little bit about your background and just a little bit about your journey. Now that you sparked our interest, you know, because I can feel a lot of people like, wow, that sounds good. But who is Gary? Who is this Gary guy, Derek? Tell us a little bit about you and your journey, man, and what you've experienced.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, in my journey, being able to understand who we are and who I am as a person, and not be able, like I said, that exercise I did years ago, not being able to judge anything. And so when you're not in the judgment mode, you look at things at a mature level. And so I want to say this, is that my maturity level has increased as far as my mindset is, and I'm just pulling things up from all over the place. You know me, you just put me on the spot, but it just on my journey is just being able to understand things at a mature level. So I look at things from a different perspective. I look at things from internal instead of external, and there's so many things. So many people look at things from an external point of view, and I think this platform able to engage you in an internal view. And so in my journey, I've been dealing with the internal, such as you, whether it's through meditation or awareness and different things like that.
Okay. All right, my brother. You know I love you. And Gary was a dear guy for me years and years and years ago, ladies and gentlemen, when I was drinking and just, oh man, I was knee deep in ego, and he knew me around that time, and I think it was 2000, around that time when I was making a shitload of money, when money was my God. And I remember having a conversation with this brother, and he was talking conscious shit way back then. And he was like, brother, you're so much more than what you're doing right now. You don't have any idea of, what's in store for you, brother. Just me talking to you, right? And I wasn't trying to hear that shit back then, ladies and gentlemen. You know me, I tell it like I wasn't trying to hear that shit. I was getting money, and I was trying to, pull Gary my way to like building, monetizations and corporations and getting this money. And Gary planted a seed in me. I remember it crystal clear. He planted the seed, and he said, brother, you have no idea what you're going to be doing for, I forget the word that I can pull it up right now. You have no idea what's in store for you in consciousness. You're going to become a servant, because in your past life, you were very, very, very rich, and you will become a servant and start repaying back your karma from past lives. You have no idea, but hey, brother, do your thing. I remember that conversation. Do your thing, brother, and he loved me from a distance. He loved me from a distance. And so, yeah, man, I'm very, very excited about what I know, the energy that Gary and some of his partners are going to bring to this platform. It's very, very powerful energy. So we're going to keep that invitation open for you. And just know that the door is open. You can call anytime. And I love you, brother. Thank you for stepping out of your comfort zone, because see, Gary is like the this is an international show. So some of you, he's the Russell Simmons of a lot of things. Gary does a lot of work behind the scenes. Gary is a servant. Gary connects a lot of energy bodies together. He's great at identifying different frequencies and energy and bringing those energies together. See, he's not an outspoken, in front of the mic, throat chakra projecting person. So I really appreciate you, Gary, jumping on here, man. And that's why I threw you in the deep water today, just to see if you could swim a little bit. And you could swim, brother. You could swim.
Well, I appreciate you and love you, man. You know that, and I support you in everything you do. And you just so incredible at painting a picture of the things that you experience. But so many people are going to benefit from it, and I appreciate you because I'm benefiting from it.
Thank you, brother. I just do what I do, man. You know, I just do the best that I do with the tools that I have, and that's it. I am what I am. You know, I'm just learning how to just be me. You know, I don't try to be anybody else. I just try to be me and just try to do me. And I do it from a space of love, man. Learning how to love. And I got here from just learning how to love myself first. And that's very important. I won't hold you hostage, Gary. I'm gonna let you go, okay? Love and peace, brother.
Absolutely.
Love and peace. Peace and love. And I just learned how to love myself first, ladies and gentlemen. Love myself from all the way down to the stankin', thanking, ratchet, ghetto fabulous, whatever you want to call it, frequency that I once resided on. Just loving myself. That was the start, and forgiving myself from some of the energies and some of the vibrations that I cling to, you know, and just releasing that energy. Just yesterday, I had 2 guides. I talked to 2 guys yesterday. This it's moving so fast. If you, ladies and gentlemen, would just open up and just receive. And I've had some things just yesterday. I almost forgot about that. Some things just detached from me yesterday with a guide. Saw some things in me that were holding me back. And right after these things were released from me, I went right to non-duality this morning. So that was these energies and these frequencies and these perceptions and my ego, just what was alleviated from my ego yesterday, which was very heavy for me once it was brought up. And I'll talk about it. You know, I don't like to hide anything from you guys. Just when I played our last show about the young lady, about that Pizzagate shit, that shit hit me hard. That shit hit my emotional body hard. And it hit a lot of you hard. I read the comments, like some of you didn't even fuck with that frequency. Like, nah, dude, I don't even want to touch, but I had to. And I know why I had to now. You see how everything works? I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do that show about Pizzagate. I did not want to talk about that because I had already saw the video and cried over it, right? But I just had to. I can't even explain why I had to face that. And sure enough, when I did that video, one of my guides saw something in me that I couldn't even see. And it was that attachment still to that molestation, that generational curse. Some of that garbage that I was carrying from my ancestors was still on me that I couldn't even see. I just accepted it as a part of me, which you'll hear me say sometimes. I'm working with my shadow side. I had accepted it like, fuck it. It is what it is. Come on. I'm just going to drag all this shit with me, but this is the way I'm going. I'm not staying here, but I'm going to drag this shit with me and I'm going. And a lot of us do that. And on this journey, we'll run into people who can see your shit. And they'll ask you, you have to try the frequency now. You have to try the frequency and the intent of people before you let them into your aura to help you alleviate some of these things. And this particular guy saw my shit and he pointed it out and it was no fighting it. It was there. And we did some things that I won't speak about now. for reasons, because I don't want to speak no spells. And kapoof, I experienced non-duality the next morning. So this the journey is real. The journey is real. Bounce back over to the chat. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Where you at? Where you at? Phone lines are open. 230-2744. I don't know, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, should I just start uploading videos and get rid of the phone? I don't know. I leave the phone open for you guys. Maybe I should just stop going live and just start uploading videos. Maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And just, the phone is not for me. The chat is not for me. This is for you guys. All right. So I'm going to keep the phone line open. Because when I come over to the chat, hey Derek. Let me see something. So would I then be correct to say we should separate from the ego perhaps for a while and then even create our own patterns of energy and live and adjust to our lives, or what? It's the short answer of that is yes. That'll be the short answer, but it's easier said than done, right? Because when we talk about the ego, the way that I've identified the ego today as energy patterns that we formed and created and bonded to, and we actually believe from the most, deep inward. You going inward when you meditate and you pulling this shit up. You see what I'm saying? You actually believe that you are a human being. I actually still have traces in me, yes, that I'm a human being. And I know this shit sounds crazy, but from the core essence, from the highest aspect, when you think of consciousness, we are not physical. I know you think, and I think that we're the physical body because it's here and we think we touching it, but it's all energy. We all exist in the consciousness of the divine presence of all, the infinite one. Some of you call it God. We're in the dream of God. All of this is consciousness, you see? And until you can get a little glimpse of that, you can say, well, should I do this or should I do that? You're going to do whatever that ego tells you to do from up to date, what you've experienced up to date. Some of the things that you've been manipulating into, attaching to. We got television. See, it's you guys got to really see what we up against. You really have to just take off the veil, pull the veil back, and really see what we're up against. We're up against consciousness, all of this new consciousness, all of this new energy coming through, right? So all of these are we all being upgraded, and we all got opinions, and we all got perspectives, and we all think we know the way. You see, we up against all of this shit. We got the internet now, so we got information at our fingertips that could put you in one ball of consciousness and just totally separate you from infinity, just from your beliefs, what you gravitate towards. So what I'm experiencing on my journey, this is what I'm doing, and it's really helping me. It's really helping me not cling to titles and boxes and gender and race and color and all of that. I experience it now, right? But I ain't like, it's not pulling no energy from me one way or the other. And it's from experiencing non-duality. I don't care about it anymore because I know it's just folly. So it's just surrendering. And how do you surrender? From purposed, focused, conscious, right? You have to set your intent when you go into that meditation that I want to experience who I am, the highest vibration that I can receive right now. I want to experience it. I want to experience that. Marcus, are you there? Let me see if I got you connected. This is Skype. This is Marcus from over at Skype. Are you here, Mark?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me put my headphones on. Hold on one second, Mike. How did my head? Have I had my headphones on today? Nah. How y'all let me do a whole show with no headphones? All right, Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You got the platform, brother.
Thank you, Derek. Yeah, man, all this stuff with ego. I've been thinking about ego a lot recently, and looking at the Swami, the most recent Swami, that's been talking about who you think you are and who's the you who's asking who you are. And it's been really eye-opening for me, at least, to really question that, because the moment I questioned that, I began to feel differently, lighter even. For a majority of my time, though, I've never had like a true awakening of sorts. Like, I've always been like on the verge of doing something, but never completely, growing in a certain field. So I'm working on that now.
That's great. That's great. So you are aware that you're on that path to see, it's something, right, Mark? It's something that's there, and you're in search of that somethingness, right? And nothing is really satisfying or quenching that thirst right now, is it? It's just, you're just like drinking if I had to make it physical, you're just drinking this water, and this water is satisfying the thirst temporarily, but it's not quenching your thirst to know who you truly are and what you truly reside in. Is that kind of sort of what you on that journey, kind of sort of? Are you there, Mark?
It's been questioning everything. It's been questioning everything, though. Like, going back to that, that fear that I had not to delve into things. But I've been taking my my fears, my objections, my abandonment issues from childhood, conquering those every day, doing inner child work, getting that shadow aspect to me, keeping my shadow and me, hand in hand, so we could get to that next stage. It's been quite the journey, though.
That's good.
It's worth it, though, every way.
That's good shit. Step. That shadow work is so necessary too, because that shadow work is viewing yourself, and that's like the first, I won't say the first step, but that's part of the journey to recognizing and seeing yourself from different energy forms, like seeing out of the ego a little bit, because the ego, these energy patterns, you gravitate towards some and some you don't, but they're still energy patterns. It's so hard to explain what I saw. I saw a bunch of energy patterns, a bunch of thoughts, a bunch of circumstances, a bunch of different frequencies that we've experienced, we thought about, and that we have become. We've attached our emotion to these energy patterns, and that is the ego. And some of these energy patterns we are very vibrant about, we feel very high about, we love them, you know what I'm saying? And some of them we don't, but they're still all attached to us. So that's what we call good and bad, right and wrong. I can see it so clearly. And what's so mind-blowing, we have our right, wrong, good, bad, and all of these experiences, but on the outside of, I call it that clog, because the energy is no longer flowing the way that it should. Infinity flows. There's no separation in infinity. So in order to see a big ass clog, like in a drain, to visually see this in 3D, something has to be blocking the flow of something. You know what I'm saying, Mark? The flow of the water, the flow of anything. And that's what it is in consciousness. These egos block the natural flow. There it is. There. The ego blocks the natural, infinite flow of oneness, consciousness. That's what the ego does. And every now and then we'll get little glimpses of it when we surrender, when we die. And when you really think about all of these books are saying, but we take these books logically. You must die. And then they attach all of this fear and shit to death because we don't know who we really are. We don't really believe that we're immortal. We think, oh shit, the ego. Yeah, motherfucker. I'm talking to you, ego. I'm talking to my ego now. I'm not talking to Mark. Okay, you must die. You must die. In order for you must get the fuck out of my way so I can really see where I'm going. Now, I don't mind you tagging along because right now I can't shake your ass the way I really want to shake you because you still attached to me and I'm on this journey. But God damn it, I'm gonna clean these windows off so I can see clearly. Now, if you want to ride with me in this car, you sit over there, you shut the fuck up and come on. But you're no longer enslaving me and you're no longer dictating the way that I'm going now because I can see a little bit now. Turn left. No, I'm turning right. I want to see what's down this street. That's ego. Controlled. We've been controlled, manipulated. This dimension that we reside in, this three-dimensional plane that we're experiencing, man, we've been programmed to exist here. I can remember in this incarnation, and I'm 46, right? I can remember in this incarnation when the inhabitants of the earth, we thought we were the only people that exist in the whole fucking universe. See, you a little younger, Mark. I don't even know if you ever experienced that. I was alive when that was still going around, when we actually thought we were here on Earth alone.
Oh, I was here.
Was you here?
I was here to experience that. Yeah.
Yeah. You see how fast this is going now, though? You see how fast this shit is going now? And now they about to drop these fucking alien things on us. See?
Yep.
They about to drop this alien shit on us because we just waking. They say, well, hell nah. They know we've been showing them these aliens since the 1950s in the movie. And we've been kind of giving them a glimpse of what we're doing up here and doing with consciousness and manipulating energy. And see, they know how to manipulate energy. They created the fucking dude. And I'm going to say it like this. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. They created the fucking gods that you and I once worshipped. And they didn't even worship the motherfucker. I'll say that because that's how folly it is. The concept of what we actually think is God. They don't even worship the God that they gave us. It's crazy.
How it is, though.
They don't even worship the God.
Your own drug.
Exactly. They ain't. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me break it down so you can understand. We on the road today. The dope dealer, 99% of the time, ain't smoking the crack that he's selling to you. You see what I'm saying? The GMO providers, the people who making these genetically modified foods, they don't eat that shit that they sell us. They just take the monetization part. They don't eat that. They don't eat that shit.
Nope.
You go to any inner city.
Not as possible.
That's right, Mark. You go to any inner city. See, color, and you know what I want to say this, Mark. Mark, are you what's your nationality that they stamped you as in 3D? What were you stamped and labeled as?
Native American, African American, German.
Damn. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Have you noticed that in every inner city, and I did not realize that there were white ghettos until, man, probably in my 20s. I didn't know that there were trailer parks, like white poor people. I didn't. I never until I saw, I think Eminem exposed that on mainstream, that he came from a trailer park. Eminem's story when he started rapping and talking about some of the stuff he was going. I didn't know that white people were poor at one particular time because all I was taught on my come up that, you know, white people ran the world. So I didn't know that it was trailer parks.
Yep. There's trailer parks. Like even the little hole that I live in, there's trailer parks, like at least 2 of them. And there's like an RV park here too. And yeah, there's poor people in every color.
And you ever notice, Mark, in those inner cities where there's lack of consciousness and lack of knowledge, there's a whole different variety of food and beverages in those inner cities? Have you noticed that yet?
Oh yeah, in this little hole we have like lots of canned food, lots of processed junk, but no fresh produce.
Man, see?
Whatsoever. And I'm speaking from experience, and I still live here.
Sure you
There's
are.
no fresh produce.
Sure you are, speaking from experience. Yeah. And see, as above, so below. A lot of people don't know what that means. It's levels to this shit, man, all the way to 3 density where we are.
Yep.
Hey, Mark, we love you, man. Thanks for calling in. Thank you so much.
Love you too, Derek.
All right, peace and love.
Oh, peace and love, man.
All right. That's good old Mark. Marcus Jackson. It's levels to this. Let me see these phone lines. They still open. Seven 734-230-2744. We talked about a lot today. You know, it's even hard to even piggyback this. So I'm just gonna let this one. I'm gonna let this marinate. I don't even want to jump all around on different topics. So I'm not gonna even yeah, we went somewhere today, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you accepted it or saw it or visualized it or felt it, we went somewhere today as far as with ego. And a lot of people, and I could just feel it. A lot of people have no idea or perception of what ego is. So I hope today, I don't hope, there go that fucking word, hope. I know today will free a lot of you, or at least expand your consciousness and give you a different perspective of ego and what you're dealing with. Endless possibilities. I think one must just see it, feel it, and experience it, and just learn how to surrender that ego. And the only way that I know how to do that, right, to where you can get your ego to surrender and not go insane, because you see that a lot. I talk to a lot of people that if you guys and gals talk to them, you would think they were fucking insane. And I just sit in that energy with them because I understand they're bleeding through. They're out of balance. And a lot of it comes from mushrooms and, you know, DMT trips and even some cannabis trips, you know, and they can't find that balance anymore. So just keep that in mind when you're exploring infinity. And I would just recommend that you just get comfortable centering and meditating and organically. And when I say organically, I mean just without anything at first. Not that it's right or wrong to take mushrooms or smoke cannabis or DMT. I think they are all spiritual tools. They all are. But if you dive in the fucking deep water before you're able to swim, you're gonna sink. You're gonna drown. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So if you're not a person that can, you know, center and meditate and go from that beta, if you can't become conscious and do that organically, but then, you know, I won't even say that, because different strokes, different folks. I know some people that are just, they never bungee jumped before, right? How do you prepare to bungee jump? What do? You start jumping off a garage at first. What do? You tie a rope in the tree. You know, you just jump. So I get it. Some of you would just jump right into DMT and, you know, peace and love. But just be prepared. Some people don't learn how to swim. They just dive in the water. Some people don't put their big toe in the water to see if it's cold. They just dive in. So I'm not going to even say that. See, that's that ego. Don't y'all be careful with it. Be careful, you guys. Don't, don't take it slow. Do what you do. Do what you feel led to do, because that's what I'm doing. All right. Catch us here Wednesday, same time, same space. Who knows what we'll talk about Wednesday? I'm just pulling stuff from the etheric realm and just letting the energy flow. That's all I'm doing. I'm not a guru. I don't claim to be anything but energy and consciousness. Raising the level of consciousness, one soul at a time. I love you. Thank you for being here. And I'll catch you guys Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Never forget.
I'm conscious. Now what?
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. Hold up. What you talking about, doctor?
Peace.